We're live. Where's everybody hiding it tonight? Where's everybody at? Get on down here. Looking, there we are. Turn down. Oh, okay, I see. Billy, how you doing? So the comments. So it's weird. So I'm looking on my cell phone, and the comments and stuff are there, and there's a count of people in the chat and all of that. Um, but when I look on the computer, it's not there. Hey, Cybertron, it's not there. But now it's popping up. It's popping up now. Hey, Lou, say something, and I'll add you as a moderator. Hey, there's WTT, Western Tennessee. How you doing? Angela DeVore, howdy. Jack. That's not a pug for a. What kind of dog is that, Jack? I got Sissy laying down here sleeping. It's cool tonight, so she likes to curl up and stay warm. Hey, Demarcus, good deal. I appreciate you watching. So I got to watch. All right, I'll catch Lou when he comments. I'm going to add him as a moderator. Um, so I had some people that sent me questions about the live streams the other day. It's an interesting thing. I had a meeting downtown in Harris County today. Um, it was it's a Shepherd mix. Okay, it's such a small screen; it's hard for me to see. But anyway, I had an interesting meeting downtown with some law enforcement officials today. It was very eye opening. Very eye opening. Um, I'm not going to talk too much about that. At this point, I'll tell the whole story later. But at this point, I'm not going to say too much about that. But people were asking me, and of course the trolls have been going nuts, just absolutely crazy, talking because I've come out and spoken about my case, and they're just like, "Oh my God, it's stupid to do that." Blah blah blah. You know what? I don't care. That's it. I don't care. And they're like, "Oh, he's going crazy. He's unraveling. He's scared. He's worried." Nope. Guess again. And they're talking about, "Oh, he's got dark circles under his eyes. He's so scared. He's not sleeping." Nope. That's just from not getting sun in the winter months. I get these dark circles under my eyes. I've always had them. If you go back and look at my videos, they're always there. Just in the summer months when I get more sun, my skin is darker, so you don't see them as much. That's all it is. But you know, the idiots have to make something out of everything. And they have to try and spin it to fit their narrative. And it's all just lies. That's all they do. It's just lie, and feed their own psychosis. But there were some people that asked me about a couple things from the live stream. They asked me to elaborate, and I will elaborate on the some of the stuff that Deer Park PD was hiding. Now, I'm not going to go any further into that than I already have. But one of the things that they hid was because they knew that if they told the DA, "Hey, there was drug use at the time, and all of that," that the DA would probably not take charges. And that's what we got in the emails. That's what this was about from the start. It was about publicly ruining me. And they were very upset that I made bond. And they were very upset that I hired the lawyer that I did. They're like, "Where's he getting that money? How does he afford this?" And and then you look at the emails and they're like, "It doesn't matter. We've ruined him publicly. He will never recover from this." Well, little do you know, recovery has already begun. Little do you know, there's some things in the works already that are going to make the city of Deer Park very unhappy. But that comes later. But so going back to the drug use. So my ex-wife had a job working as a cleaner at a doctor's office. And she would take this daughter along with her to that doctor's office. And for about 18 months, this daughter was breaking into the narcotics cabinet and stealing psychotropic drugs and taking them to help her sleep. Now, after a while, the wife, started finding the drugs in her room and confronted her with it, and she told the whole story. But she was taking these drugs at night to help her sleep. Now, these are psychotropic drugs. And I had to go to a library. I know a lot of you probably don't know what a library is because you have Google now, but back in the day, before we had Google, we had these things called libraries. So anyway, I had to go over to a library and look up some of these drugs and see, exactly what she was taking, just because I was like, I don't do drugs and I'm not in that culture, so I have no idea what this is or that is, and so most of them were psychotropic drugs, and it's just weird that somebody would take that to sleep, but it is what it is. So Deer Park, in the course of digging into everything, dug that up. And of course, if you're conducting an investigation about something that happened during somebody's teen years, of course you're going to ask them, okay, so, did you ever use any drugs during this time period? Blah, blah, blah. Was you do any alcohol? What? Of course they're going to talk about that stuff. Well, Deer Park PD had that information and withheld it from the district attorney. It's incredible that a police department would be so desperate to target an innocent man that they would go to the lengths of withholding and concealing evidence, which by the way, guys, is a crime in Texas. Withholding, concealing, and hiding evidence that will show somebody's innocent. What kind of police department does that? Think about that. Now, I did a lot of thinking, and keep in mind, this case has been ongoing now for 3 years. Hold on. SUV was parked in the fire lane from the main door. Just so happens off-duty HPD was walking by and made comment that it was one of their undercover units. I've had 3 years to really delve into this and think about it and talk to people about it. And the general consensus is, so why were you such a problem? Because unlike a lot of instigating activists, okay, a lot of bootlickers were coming over and siding with me. And you're like, yeah, you're right. I can't believe these cops were doing this stuff. A lot of cops were coming out and siding with me. And for crooked cops, that is their worst nightmare. Hold on, Salty. There you go. You got a wrench. Crooked cops and crooked departments, that is their worst nightmare. That cops are coming out and they're dealing with me and giving me information, and that information might uncover the misdeeds of these bad cops. And this drug use thing is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more that Deer Park hid and concealed from the district attorney. Because all along, I couldn't believe. I was like, why would the district attorney take charges on something this stupid? Why would they do that? Well, and of course, we find out that one of the DA's supervisors is married to a cop that I exposed, a crooked cop that I exposed. She should have recused herself and had nothing to do with the case, but she did not. So that's going to come to light too. But there is a lot more. That is like the most minor thing that Deer Park hid. And keep in mind, like the emails. When we subpoenaed the emails between Shell and Deer Park, remember, this all started at Shell with a false police report. False police report. Does a false police report open somebody up to liability? Civil liability? Something to think about. So this all started with a false report, a false police report that should have nipped things in the bud. But because it originated at Shell, we asked for the emails, and Deer Park refused to give them. They still have not given us all the stuff that we subpoenaed that was related to our case. They've refused to comply with subpoenas. They hired this big fancy law firm out of Austin, Texas to fight giving us the emails. Hey, thank you, Cybertron. Thank you for the super chat. Now, why would you do that? If you got nothing to hide, why would you do that? Well, of course, after we started getting the emails, and we still don't have them all, we found out why. Management at Deer Park PD was paid off by Shell to target me. They were given bounty money to ruin my life. Of course, they didn't send that bounty money to the PD. They tried to hide it. They sent it to the residences, chief of police, assistant chief of police, CID lieutenant, detectives that were involved. Who does that? What kind of dirty motherfuckers do something like that? You pay the police to ruin somebody's life, and the police go along with that. What kind of cops are that? Think about that for a minute. Knowingly and intentionally trying to ruin somebody's life, possibly have them killed. Knowingly, intentionally doing that. What kind of police department does that? And like I say, I know I've got a lot of cops that watch this. I know I got a little everything. And I am very thankful for all the subscribers out there. But it goes even deeper than that. You see, even the FBI became involved. Deer Park PD, and the FBI has been, for a time, using a network of informants from within this movement, many of whom I've worked with, many of whom I have helped financially when they couldn't pay their rent. They were going to get thrown out, and so I paid the rent for them. So they and their kid could stay in an apartment up there in Chicago. You know what I'm talking about. Needed a lawyer. I gave money for lawyers. I help people. This is what I've done all along. I've helped people at every opportunity, if I could. Even some people I didn't like. But they were doing the right thing. I thought they were doing good work. So, here, you need a little money. Here's some money. I had it to give. I was glad to do it. And so many of those people, they get themselves, here we go. Dick and Roscoe show for coffee. Thank you. I don't drink coffee, but I will use that to buy some hot cocoa and some Wendy's chili. They used, these people get in trouble, and then instead of taking the charge like they should, they make a deal. I'll be an informant. I'll help you set David up, or I'll come out and publicly talk bad about him so that we can whatever it takes. They become informants for the government, and some of them, I have the audio recordings of them talking to Deer Park PD. Deer Park PD actually recorded them talking, and others I just have lists with their names on it and stuff. But Deer Park PD used at least one of their informants to publish copyrighted material that should not have been published. And by the way, it really pissed the DA off when they did that. But see, they knew that the case was falling apart. They've known that for quite some time, and they had to do something. They thought when they filed this case, all of you were going to turn your backs on me. What they didn't count on was that you'd be able to see through it. You'd be able to see through and understand that the whole thing was a setup. And so they had to do something else. So they started using their informants to try and discredit me. And, that had some effect, but not what they thought it would. It didn't go as deep as they thought it would. But, the biggest effect that it had was that it hurt me. Because these were people that I cared about as activists. These are people, some of these people I call family. And little did I know that they had gotten in trouble and had made deals to be informants and target me, help the government target me to shut me up. What do you do? I tell you what I do. I come back stronger than I've ever been before, and much, much more angry. And we start filing lawsuits. So those will be coming. I hear that Deer Park chief of police got a good laugh when he heard that I was going to file a $3 billion lawsuit against Deer Park. Only thing I can say to that, chief, is keep laughing. Keep laughing. Because it's all in the documents. It's all in the documents. So, all right. Juggernaut. WTT. There you go. Hashtag Team David Juggernaut. So anyway, so the drug use was a thing. Deer Park concealed that. They also did some interviews with a witness that had just come out of surgery and was heavily medicated. And then they went to the DA and lied about what that witness had said. Okay, and that witness has since contacted me, and they're like, no, that's not it. Hey DB, how you doing? Run over 100 pages written so far, guys. If you don't already have the book, Rise of the Oathbreaker, highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I actually hand it out to police officers every opportunity I've got. Multiple copies, or I'm getting low now, but I hand them out to law enforcement officers. It's a very, very good book. As a matter of fact, tell you how good a book it is. Boom, have it right here. Look at that. That's how good a book it is. And this one is autographed by the author, just for me. So DB McCrae is a retired police officer of how many years? 20 something, 25? DB? Is that right? Okay, he'll say something anyway. So there is still stuff that I can't get into. I haven't even scratched the surface yet. Okay? When we go into the documents, okay, you'll be able to look at them. I'm going to post them on I'm actually got a website created that's ready to go live, but I can't make it live until after the case is disposed. We have a pretrial hearing on Wednesday. I told you guys the 8th, they changed it to the 9th, but don't bother coming to that. It's nothing. It's going to be like a 15-minute thing. It's available on Zoom. You can watch it on Zoom. That's what I would do. But there's nothing to it. It's just going to be a evidentiary hearing, and then we're gone. 23 years DB was a police officer. But the trial is set for the 25th of this month, and I encourage everybody to come to the trial. I don't expect you to believe me, when I say I'm innocent. I don't ask you to believe that. Come to the trial, hear it for yourself. Hear the evidence and make an informed decision on guilt or innocence. That's the thing to do. That's what I would do. And I am confident. I am confident that you will be highly entertained, and that your eyes will be fully opened. And upon completion of that, we are going to have a really nice event. I'll get you the details of that event a little later date. But we're going to have a very fun and interesting event in the city of Deer Park. In the city of Deer Park. What we did in LaPorte, we just kind of played in LaPorte. That was nothing. What we're going to do in Deer Park is going to be far, far larger and far, far more involved. So details of that will come at a later date. The 25th, in the criminal courts building in downtown Houston, in the Harris County Criminal Courts building, is when the trial is scheduled for. I look forward to seeing a lot of you there, and I'm going to go to questions now. So let me see what we got here. Oh, I just saw somebody. There we go. Thank you, Lan Lee, for taking care of that for me. Let me see. Oh, so GD's had a comment there. Here, let me just show y'all. So GD likes to text people in the middle of the night, and he thinks that's funny. Well, okay. Keep thinking that's funny, GD. It's all right. You know, the trolls want to troll. You know, they want to text me. They want to call me. Teresa's been texting me, you know, talking stuff. TikTok, Earl. TikTok. TikTok. What does that even mean? Okay. You have to understand. Hold on. I have been trying to get this case to trial since the day it began. The holdups have not been us. The holdups have been the city of Deer Park not providing the stuff we subpoenaed. The holdups have been the district attorney's office not providing the stuff we've subpoenaed. Or they put the case off. It has just been, we have been trying to get this to trial to get it exposed. I want this exposed. I want everybody to see what the police have done. You get that? I want everybody to see what the police have done. Because I know that everybody is going to be so incensed by what I expose in this case. People are going to be, this is going to be like the El Paso FBI situation part 2. When you see what these people did to try and not just ruin my life, you have to understand, this isn't just ruining my life. This was about trying to have me killed. Shell paid the Deer Park Police Department to try and have me killed. Think about that. And I'm going to make sure that everybody in Deer Park knows about it. I'm going to make sure that everybody in this world knows about it. Get the message across any way I can. I'm going to pay for billboards in Deer Park, telling everybody exactly what happened, showing them the website, showing them the documents, showing everything. All that stuff that Deer Park got the DA to seal is going to be published. You're not going to hide behind that stuff. You're not going to do these evil deeds that you've done and then go hide. You're going to be exposed. And if there's any kind of criminality to it or civil liability, I am going to rake you over the coals. I wasn't kidding. $3 billion. So, Chief, you keep laughing. Keep laughing. It's not important whether you laugh or not. It's who gets the last laugh. Let me see. Oh, by the way, don't think that qualified immunity is going to help you. I got a surprise for you. I got a really big surprise for you. Oh, and all this, there's been this big to-do about the federal lawsuit that I let expire out in California. Just to let everybody know, there is a media organization that specializes in copyright law that has come on board that wanted that case, and I gave it to them. They'll be refiling that in the upcoming weeks because we are not outside the statute of limitations. That's right. I know you guys were like, oh, statute of limitations. We are not outside the statute of limitations. And these guys specialize in copyright law. And they actually educated me on some things, on a few things. Um, when you own the copyright to something, if somebody steals that video and publishes it, it's not published. There is no fair use for it. It's a stolen, if it's copyrighted, it's stolen product. If you break into George Lucas's house and steal the latest copy of Star Wars before he publishes it, and you publish it, it's not published. The copyright owner has say on the first publication. And I have never published that video, so somebody's in trouble. And these guys don't play. These guys don't play. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now. Like I said, they educated me on a couple things like that I didn't know about, but like if you go to serve somebody and they duck service, or even if they don't duck service, the costs of serving them, they're responsible for that. So if they duck service and it just builds up more money, that's it's going to hurt them. Like this last time, the Hemmings were ducking getting served. They were hiding from it. And I didn't feel like fooling with it, so I had come up with a better plan on how to deal with it. Just going to roll it into the Deer Park lawsuit because they're informants for the government. The Hemming firm out in California, informants for the government. But these lawyers are like, oh, that's not a problem. They can't duck service. Good old Miss Hemming's got to go to court. We'll have her served in court. I hadn't thought about that. Good idea. And Mr. Hemming can be served. It's his wife, so we'll serve her. Same thing. Cool. What else? Man, I just get to this rambling. I just get to rambling and lose my train of thought. Just all these people that saying, he's going to run. That was their original thing. He's got a boat. He's going to run. Why would I run from something I didn't do? That didn't make sense. Maybe a guilty person would run. That's just not how I work. And it's not me, but just in general, if you're out committing crimes, you always know there is the possibility you're going to get caught. You know that. So when you get caught, what are you going to say? You hear this thing all the time, and I always thought it's funny. There's no guilty people in prison. Everybody's innocent. That's not true. Ask somebody who's been to prison. They'll tell you that people are usually pretty honest about what they did because credibility is important. If somebody says, oh, that guy's a snitch, you better be able to stand up and say, I am not, and be believed. And people in jail run background checks on people all the time, get information on people all the time. So they know what you didn't do. They got a pretty good idea. So lying about it is pointless. So all this stuff about, everybody in prison is innocent is not true at all. Most people I know that have been to prison have been very honest about what they did. And, some of them just some really screwed up stuff too. I have heard some tales that are just bizarre. But, so don't buy that BS. And don't buy the thing. Another thing that drives me crazy is this government thing of, this is somehow, hold on. Noble, whatever that is somehow related to the two lawyers out in California. They're not two lawyers. There's one lawyer and a wannabe lawyer. Yes, the Hemming firm in California are government informants. They participated in this program to come after me. Felipe Hemming, I have audio recordings of him snitching to Deer Park. And he is not happy about that. And he's running around telling everybody, yeah, yeah, he's going to prison. He's going to prison. He's going to prison. All these people, here's something for you. All these people that you see out here talking about, I'm going to prison. All that they know is what they've seen in the papers that have been put on the district court's website. That is all the information they have. Some of them claim, I've been talking to family members. Okay, well, here's the problem with that. The family members are giving you false information. And I have proven this, and who was it? One of them was running around saying, none of his kids have anything to do with him. Earl is hated by his children. None of his children have anything to do with him. His son moved away so that he wouldn't be around him. All lies. You see, I've got YouTube channels with my kids. I've got, I regularly spend holidays with my kids and my grandkids. And, I have one crazy daughter, two crazy daughters that I walked away from. Okay? Because their behavior was so bizarre that it was hazardous to me. Okay? And so I walked away from them. I don't contact them. I don't talk to them. I did send money to help them out. I would send, give it to another daughter to give to them and just say it was from her. Things like that. Buy their kids Christmas when they were unemployed. Whatever. And I did that because I care about my kids, even the ones I don't have anything to do with, because their behaviors are so bizarre that they are hazardous to me. I don't want bad things to happen to them. So, I would help. And they didn't ask for it. I'll make that perfect. They never asked for help. I did that on my own, out of the goodness of my heart. So, when these trolls out here are talking about all this stuff about the case, they don't know anything. They got one of them that has been to just about every court appearance I've had, okay? And it's so bad, he used to try to get information from the DAs in the court, the ADAs, and it was so bad we had one of them quit because she was scared of him. And so after that, the sheriff's department ID'd the guy, and they told us who he was, and they when he shows up on court dates, if he shows up anymore, they make him sit in the very, very back, away from everybody. And he is not allowed to come up to the bar or to approach anybody that works in there. So they're not having that no more. There is talk amongst the trolls. And what I was saying was, these people, they don't see anything, and they don't care about the truth. The truth means nothing to them. I actually had one of them that was attacking me, like just dogging me. And I offered to fly this clown here from where he lives, let him look at the documents, and make an informed decision about guilt or innocence or, the case. And you know what he said? I don't care. You're guilty. That's all I got to say. That's the troll, the head cult leader, the cult leader. So, that really says it all. These people don't know anything. They don't see anything. Hey, Dan, good to see you. They don't get to see anything. They don't get to see any paperwork. They don't get to see the CPS documents. They don't get to see the investigator documents from Deer Park. They don't get to see the emails from Deer Park. They don't see anything I don't publish. If I don't show it, they don't see it. Yet they think they got all this inside information about stuff. They don't know shit. And people listen to them. That's what's so funny, is that people are like, oh, you know so much. You tell us about this, tell us about that. And they just lie through their teeth about what they know and don't know. And then you got some of them that are from California, for example, that like to talk about our court system in California, like in Houston and Texas, we do it the same way, right? Nope. Nope. I'll give you an example. California felons can't have guns in their residence. They can't have guns at all. Heck, in California, most law-abiding citizens have a hard time getting guns. In Texas, felons can have firearms. Have them in their home, and by extension, because Texas recognizes your car as an extension of your home, most felons can have firearms in their vehicle when they're out driving around. Now, there are exceptions to that. If you got any kind of controlled substance in your car, if you're committing any kind of other crime and you have that firearm on you, they're going to hang you by the neck until you are DEAD dead. And they should. If you're out doing criminal things, you're making reformed criminals' lives harder. So I fully support, if you're out there doing stupid stuff, I fully support putting your dumb ass in jail. I got no issue with that. But we need to have that same system applied across the board, including cops. No special privileges for police. It's that simple. They are not the ruling class. James Barnes is saying something there, saying polygraphs are not 99% accurate. I don't know, don't care. Only reason I took polygraphs, Deer Park PD, here's something else. Deer Park PD was supposed to schedule a polygraph for me. And the detective sent an email to the CID lieutenant saying, hey, Warden came in, we're going to set him up with a polygraph. He's agreed to take it. And the lieutenant sent an email back saying, under no circumstances are you to give Warden a polygraph. Because if he passes, the DA is not going to want to take charges. So I went and took several polygraphs, actually. And I used the same guy that the Sheriff's Department uses and some other agencies. The prison system uses them. I have no affiliation or link to him. And those polygraph results were furnished to Deer Park PD and the DA. Not that it did any good, but, because they weren't ever interested in the truth. They weren't interested in guilt or innocence. All they were interested in was publicly ruining my life. And that's why they were so bent out of shape when I made bond. They thought I was some poor activist, didn't have any money. And then I hired this badass lawyer, the second best lawyer in Harris County, and they're like, how is he able to do that? They thought I'd be sitting in jail with a public defender and I'd have to take some plea bargain on their frame job. That's what they thought. But it didn't work out. It's incredible to me the lengths that a crooked police department and crooked cops go to frame an innocent man. I mean, we see movies about this stuff, but when you live it, it's mind-boggling. Now, there is a local news channel, a local TV station that I was connected to before all this started. That's one thing, is a lot of the local stations I have connections in, except for one. But that TV station has been following this, and they've been doing an investigative series on this, and we're helping them and cooperating with them, and I've been directing them on exactly what's going on. I don't think they've been out to Deer Park and tried to interview anybody yet. I don't think they will, as long as the case is active. But when this all wraps up and they do their news report on this, it is going to be awesome. It is awesome to have, when you can get mainstream media involved and get them behind you, it is very helpful. It is very helpful. Man, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I think I ramble, like I said. Let me go over here and see what we got here. I will never take a plea bargain on something I didn't do. Now, if I did something, if I commit a crime, we were talking about this earlier. If I did commit a crime, and you got to know you're going to get caught sooner or later, you make the best deal you can make and get on down the road. It's that simple. I have pled guilty to things in the past that I did. I don't have an issue with that. But I will never plead guilty to something I did not do. And that's what you got to do. You just got to get up and fight, and whatever comes is what comes. But they would love to shut me up right now. They've already been on the phone to the district attorney. You know, we got to shut him up. He's talking about stuff. He's bringing heat down on us. He's educating the masses about how crooked we are. And the DA called my lawyer, and my lawyer told her, said, "What's the problem? Deer Park PD's talking about the case. They're using informants to talk about the case. The daughter's talking about the case. If you want to shut him up, let's go see the judge." But I don't think the judge is going to go along with that. And the district attorney's like, "Oh, I didn't know Deer Park PD." Yeah, they're using their informants out there in California to network with other informants to try and target my client, and we're not going for it anymore. He's not going to be quiet anymore. And I'm not. Now, I am being judicious about what I talk about. You know, like I said, the thing with the drug use is nothing compared to the other things that Deer Park hid. That is and that is a big deal. And Deer Park, well, we didn't know. Come on, you're questioning somebody about something they did in their teens, and I mean, come on, 1,000 man hours times 2 full-time detectives, and nobody thinks to ask this alleged victim, "Did you ever do any drugs, or was there anything alcohol abuse during that time period?" Come on. We're not stupid. You know, cops like to think we're stupid, but we're not stupid. But that is, believe it or not, that is minor compared to the other stuff they hid. The stuff I'm not telling you, and I'm not going to. We're saving that in case they actually want to go to trial. It is going to be a good show. It's going to be an excellent show. And I encourage everybody, the 25th of this month, come to the Harris County Criminal Courts building in downtown Houston and see the show. You don't even have to pay for tickets. You have to pay for parking. And you get to meet me. Come on down there. Come meet me. I'm even going to wear a suit. I have not worn a suit in, 30 plus years. Don't like suits. But I'm going to wear a suit to court. Come on down there. Come and see the show. Otherwise, you know, when the show's over, I'll be doing a live stream from the courthouse. And I believe we're going to see some arrests. I can keep my phone handy, but I think we're going to see some people get arrested down there at the courthouse. Let's see if I'm right. Come and watch the show. Come and hear the evidence for yourself and form your own opinion about guilt or innocence. This sounds like gaslighting. Okay. No, Sweet 66. They changed it. There is the pretrial hearing is on Wednesday, the 9th. They changed it. I just found that out myself, so that's why I'm doing this live stream, was to let everybody know. But it's if you come down there, I'll be there. I don't know if I'm going to be in the courtroom because there are security concerns. They actually have a security detail assigned to me down there because of credible threats. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, there are people from other states that like to make threats and stalk people online. And apparently they've never read the Violence Against Women Act, which is the federal statute for stalking. They call it the Violence Against Women, but it's actually the stalking statute for the federal law. And it gives very specific parameters for what constitutes stalking. And I can tell you that there are people who check every freaking box on that list. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of agencies involved in this that I didn't even know about. Harris County Sheriff's Intelligence Division. I thought they were kind of watching things, but I didn't realize how deep into this they were. Especially given that they don't like me. Hold on, let's do this. I can't come to the States. Oh. But apparently there are some honest deputies in the sheriff's department, and the sheriff, I'm told that Sheriff Gonzalez himself is getting updates on the whole situation about my security and what's going on with that. And and that's where that alert came, that they had put out that alert that caused the sheriff down here to put a security team on me. I mean, put a deputy on my street to monitor me and make sure nothing happened to me. It's crazy that people want to interject themselves. People who have nothing to do with nothing want to interject themselves into family drama, because that's all this is family drama. And yes, the police have used it, misused it, whatever you want to call it. But it comes down to one thing: family drama. And these same people would scream and cry and whine if you put their family under the looking glass. That hold on. 1980 Deer Park police couldn't find my guns. That lawyer out there in Northern California. I've had some really nice conversations with his cousin, talking all about what he did to her when she was 14. And yeah, it's I may publish those. She says I can publish them. She doesn't care. Of course, he's going to say, "Oh, she's got a drug problem now." Well, her drug problem now is related to what you did to her when she was 14. So, I don't know. We'll see. What else? V. Boyer, are you single? Yes, I am single. Yeah, they love to stalk me. And a lot of it is the informants. They use the informants to stir things up. They get them to go out and talk to other guys. Oh, you don't want to be associated with David. Look at that case he's got. If you're associated with him, it's guilt by association. I'm not going to support him. And they bully people. I mean, you guys don't see the stuff that like Teresa's doing online, but her and her little crew. And by the way, you'll see they'll target people. Lou can attest to this. That Salty Speakeasy. First off, they all have 50, 60 accounts, but there's only like 12 of them. But what they'll do is they'll have a conversation with themselves. They'll go on your live stream or your videos, and they'll make comment after comment after comment after comment, and just beat you up until you just get tired of it. And that is what they do. They bully people, and that is going to come back to haunt some people too. Like I said, this meeting with the county officials, the county law enforcement today, was very eye-opening. I was clueless about a lot of things that were going on, and I can't talk about them here because I said I wouldn't. I'm just going to let nature take its course and video it when it happens and laugh about it. I did know some other stuff that was going on in another state, and I went to that state here recently to sign some documents and stuff, but it's way more involved than even I knew. And it's the good cops that are out there that actually have stood up and are doing something. And I'm glad that they're there. I don't have an issue with good cops. I have an issue with crooked cops. And we all should. Especially good cops, because, say this along with me, guys, Bad cops get good cops hurt. It's that simple. What daughter would say Nintendo? Okay, this is probably one of the trolls, but oh, hold on, Cass. I'm going to give you a wrench. What daughter would say that? How about a crazy daughter? How about a daughter that's estranged and angry? There we are. How about I mean, there's any number of reasons. You're asking me to explain insanity to you, and I can't do that. You know, this daughter is whacked. She's always been whacked, and that is why I distanced myself from her, 15 years ago. Because she's crazy. And that craziness was hazardous to me. So I walked away, just don't have anything to do with her. Sometimes in life you've got to do that. And you say, well, why do people's kids do this? Why do people's kids do that? A kid wouldn't make up something like that. Google it. There are so many examples of it. Oh, thank you, Nintendo. There are so many examples of it that I can't even tell you all of them. Just Google it. False accusations by kids. They get, well, I do have an idea of what's going on. So some of my kids, my older kids, were upset because when I was married, I used to cheat on my wife. And that was an issue with them. Because the wife would always go and whine and cry about, oh, your dad, he cheated on me. He's such a bad husband, blah, blah, blah. What she never told them was what she was doing or what caused me to go out and stray. And it's not all her fault. I'm not saying that at all. It's as much my fault as it was hers. We just grew apart, and neither of us at that point was strong enough to just walk away and quit. It took a long time for me to get it up, get up the, I don't know what, but to get to the point where I could walk away. And it took a lot. Hold on. When I divorced her, I had to file for divorce multiple times. It all came down to she would always block it. And yet she's running around telling the kids, oh, your father won't give me a divorce. Your father won't give me a divorce. And by the way, that is in these documents, okay? And when I post those documents, I'm also going to post the court filings where I filed for divorce so that everybody can see I filed. I paid for everything, DNA tests, everything. And it came down to all she had to do was sign the papers, and she wouldn't do it. And a lot of times I was just like, screw it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not looking to get remarried at this point, so I'm not going to worry with it. But this last time, after I saw those documents and what she was claiming, I turned it around on her. I went to my kids and I said, look, your mom says I won't give her a divorce. Here's the paper. Oh, thank you, Dick and Roscoe. 20-minute, what is this, 20-minute FM radio? Chicago radio? Eat your broccoli, children, but they, yeah. Your mom says that I won't give her a divorce. That I'm holding her up from having a divorce and getting on with her life. But here are the divorce papers. You take them to her and get her to sign them. And that worked. But, and it's all in the documents. Her running around telling, CPS and stuff, oh, I want a divorce from him, but he won't give me a divorce. They've been trying, I was trying to divorce her for years. I don't know. I filed for divorce like 3 times in 10 years. And like I said, I was glad when it finally came to pass. But if you go and just Google, you'll see it is very common for kids to make accusations after parents split up that are later proven to be false or shown to be false by whatever method. Most of the time it's because after a couple of years, the kids actually tell the truth. And my opinion, and you don't have to agree with this, but when someone makes a false accusation that results in somebody getting criminally charged for something like this, they should themselves. Hold on a second, read this. You can have 20 minutes on Chicago FM radio. I'll email you. Okay. Okay, Dick. When anybody makes a false accusation like this that results in a criminal charge, when it's shown that they lied, they should be prosecuted. Now, the DAs typically won't prosecute those kind of cases because they say, oh, it'll make the victims, real victims, afraid to come forward. And I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think so. I don't see the logic behind it. But what it does do is it encourages other people to lie. And the DAs don't care if your life gets turned callywonkus and screwed up. They don't care because it's not their life. So people are, wrongfully accused and wrongfully prosecuted on a regular basis for all kinds of crimes. But this is like the most heinous of the heinous. And it should not be permitted. And any DA that condones it just doesn't deserve to be the district attorney. Yeah, Salty, I believe it. They used to call the police and say, oh, I heard a woman screaming at this house. And I get a knock on the door, and but the sheriff's department here knew already what was going on, and so they just come knock on the door. Everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. All right, we got a call. Sorry we bothered you. So that doesn't really work anymore. But when is the trial? Nintendo, the 25th of this month. If it goes to trial. We've presented a bunch of stuff to the DA about, and we're going to present some more about exactly what's going on and some things that Deer Park PD hid and concealed from the DA, and they are not going to be happy about. We haven't given it all over to them yet, but we will. Probably Wednesday. I think my lawyer is planning to give the rest of it to them then. Sworn affidavits, some of my other daughters, that they were told to say some stuff that wasn't true by this older daughter. Things like that. Cybertron. Hey, did you see that new Reacher series on, it's not Netflix, it's on Amazon. It's actually pretty good. The music's really good. I don't care for the big muscled up dude. I think they could have toned that down a little bit, but the show itself is actually pretty good. All right, we'll look at the comments, and then I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go swimming. See the ocean around me? Let's see. Have you had a request for dismissal and evidentiary proof? The evidentiary hearing is after 3 years. Is actually going to happen Wednesday. They have ducked and hid and run and tried to cover for 3 years. This has been going on, and they'll say, "Oh well, COVID." No, it's not because of COVID. COVID slowed it down a little bit, but this wasn't about COVID. This was about keeping me under their thumb and out of activism for as long as they possibly could. It was about silencing me. That's how bad it is. That's how much they were concerned. And of course the trolls will say, "Oh no, nobody's concerned. Nobody cares. They don't care if people are coming over and seeing your viewpoint, and the bootlickers or Team David. They don't care." Yes, they do. The police unions in particular, and make no mistake about it, the Houston Police Officers Association was involved in this. There was an email to the district attorney telling her, "You need to charge that guy. He humiliated our members out here talking about the Tuttles." So, yes, the union members are involved. It is just dumbfounding. Like I said, when you see the documents, you'll understand. It's like, how does this happen in America? How does this happen in America where a corporation pays the police to target a citizen because he's critical of them? How does that happen? And that corporation is protected by Homeland Security. And yes, Homeland Security is involved in this as well. There's some emails from them. It just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I have a hard time wrapping my head around it all because it is so incredible. You see this stuff, it's the kind of stuff that happens in movies, not in real life, I thought. Little did I know. Unreal. But, maybe for $3 billion, it's worth it. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. I appreciate y'all hopping on here and just listening to me yammer and yap. I will do another live stream Wednesday. Do it Wednesday evening after court and update you. And unlike the trolls, I will tell you what happened in court, and I will be able to tell you what really happened in court, not what I heard bits and pieces of from the back of the courtroom. Okay, I will give you the information about, and as I always have, I've done updates along the way, and let you know what's going on. But plan for 25th. We're doing one of two things 25th. We're getting a dismissal, or we're picking a jury. And I am ready, Freddy. And all the people that say, oh, he's worried, he's scared, look, he's not sleeping. You're delusional. Do you understand? You are delusional. Go back and smoke some more of that stuff you're smoking. I'm sleeping just fine. It's the dark circles are just natural. They're always there. They've always been there. Look at old pictures of me. Okay? You see a picture in the winter, they're darker because my skin is lighter. If you see a picture in the summer, they're lighter because my skin is darker. Because I get suntan. I'm sleeping just fine. You're worried, you're scared. No, I'm not. Like I said, the truth is in the documents. And I've seen the documents. I'm not worried. I think it's going to be... Uh-oh, somebody threw me another thing. Richard Heisey. Thank you for the super chat, Richard. I am not worried. Okay? Am I concerned about that much? That much. That's it. Because I know what's coming. I know the truth. And I know what the jury's going to see. So, there you have it. Believe it, don't believe it, don't care. Again, I encourage you, the 25th, come and watch the show. Come and should they not dismiss, should it go on further down the road, come and listen to the evidence yourself, form your own opinion. That way, when these trolls are out here talking, oh, he did it, he just got away with it, you can say, no, I was there, I heard the evidence. The truth is the truth. Guys, that is it. I appreciate you hopping on here. Like I said, y'all have a safe night. Thanks, everybody threw me some change for the super chat. Gas prices went up. My cop watching is becoming more expensive, and I pay for that out of my own pocket. So, hold on. You mean the 25th won't be the court? 25th is the day they dismiss, or we pick a jury, and the trial starts. So, that's what that is. Y'all be safe. Always video the police. Do not buy Shell gas, and or do any business with anything that Shell owns. That's Jiffy Lube and some others. You can Google it, find out. And I will see you on the other side. Y'all be safe, and that is it.